I'm gonna have to ask. I'll have to ask. Although the chances that she gets this are like 50-50. Because technology is so weird. The way I see it, though, is it's timelines. So it's like access is contingent based on what timeline you're on. I found earlier today, I was sharing with your mom about how I the Historic Preservation Commission. See, I get all these notifications for city meetings. And then I read all the agendas to see what those bastards are up to. Shady, you know? Everybody get these big old huge colossal budgets and it never trickles down. And here where I live, man, they're real bad with money. They don't even spend it. I don't know, man. It's hopefully I could provide some positive influence on how to handle freaking their financial situations. I mean, heck, I could flow to a 20. I for a while there, Mom, when they were threatening to take half my already minuscule benefit from the VA administration, the Veterans Administration, they threatened, and then I about have a nervous breakdown because all this fear came over me. Don't worry about it, it'll work out, Marge. Yada yada yada. So there was a while there. My best was I floated a 22-cent loan, a 22-cent balance for 10 days. I was making the dogs food with mash, because it was cheaper than buying dog. It was just, throw stuff at me. I'm like, all right, it's a puzzle. I'm just going to figure this out too, right? I'm looking for a bandana. I want a bandana. I cut my hair this morning, so it's a little drafty. I fixed my shirt. Yeah. And now it's accurate. People don't like me because I tell the truth. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I like the energy better in the morning right now. And by the time the evening comes around, I just really don't feel like talking. Honestly. I feel like I'm more inspired in the morning, and I feel like the water that fell upon me today gave me some things that I need to, yeah. I always believe that people get information and data in the shower, So when people don't bathe, it's like they're not as smart as they could be. Water's information transfer, and it transfers through water just like it does, other materials where electricity is passes through copper wiring, stuff like that. Anyway, there's so many things I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I fixed it. I hope people mind, because this is how it was. It's all production. Just like Hollywood, only they're really killing people in places that we have no business being, But look at all the people that freaking shut up, Marge, shut up. Don't tell them that most people sat on their ass for 20 years and then they get to absorb this exorbitant freaking. I only did 6 years. I saw what it was, the farce that it was. I did it to get that piece of paper right there. And all that piece of paper proves to me is that I can follow through, because I'm of that thinking. That's all that does. It doesn't, anything, all the hours that I spent typing with my 2 fingers because I suck at typing. I'm doing too many things at the same time. But, all that stress and anxiety brought on by just proving that I can follow through. So I hear people, either that, I don't care, people go to college, they're just showing me that they can follow through. They can put up with some bullshit like I put up with some bullshit just to prove that you can start something and finish it. Because how many people on this planet right now don't do that? And I know this because with my placements, my astrology placements, I'm a starter. It's hard for me to end the projects that I start because it's like I get bored, stuff comes up, I get frustrated, I could tell you all the reasons why. So I just don't do it. I mean, I'd like to give other people my ideas and let them take it and run with it. Just give credit where credit's due. That's all. That's the only thing I ask for. That's it. It's not too much. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out what stone this is. What stone this is inside this. It's a Thunderbird. It's for Heyoka. I feel like I was hatched from a little Thunderbird. And I grew up to be Heyoka. All the things that I've come to be, from all the things that people told me I shouldn't like about me, I like about me anyway. And they're all still hating themselves if they're still alive. So, a couple things I wanted to talk about. You like that thumbnail picture? It's a terrible picture. I think we're in a place that we're going to be comfortable for a little bit. I'm cautiously optimistic. So I want to get a desktop and then hopefully do more I would like to do talks and just scroll through my photos and just show people photos that I've taken over the years and tell stories that way. I think that would be cool. But there's all kinds of different things I'd like to do too. I'd like to make up a workstation for a computer, so I'm ready to get a desktop. I'm better on a desktop mouse. Click, click, click. I'm like, laptops are all right, but for what I like, desktops are more robust. So I don't know. We'll see. I gotta help some more people first before I can do that. So I help people and then. Yep, that's how it happens. And then I always get stuff like refurbished and because you don't gotta buy brand new. Most stuff brand new is crap, and everybody. It's whatever. All the storylines coming out. So some of the thumbnail I took though, if people know, and then that way because I got the picture, it's more clear. I got 4 of them, and I took it on the 2nd of August, 2020. At 11:22 p.m. And the trip about it, I don't know if anybody noticed it or not, or if anybody's even here or later if they look at it. But take a second look at it and then tell me. I'm on. Give people a chance to look at it for a second, yeah. And then it can tell me why it's such a trip. It's you could hear Tucker back there sawing logs. I wonder how many videos he's been in where he's just been sawing logs, Their spirit always lives on even after we pass on because we're like people are, recorded in history on film and meat and stuff, right? A lot of people are, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are just space filler people anyway. So I took a series of 4 pictures that night, and the clouds are behind the moon, is what I thought was particularly peculiar about that. And I think that was nope. So I was August 20. We were still in Oregon. So it was probably taken from the backyard. And, I went out. I guess I don't usually stay up that late. That's why it's like such a trip to me. When divine things happen. Usually I go to bed I've always gone to bed at 10:30. That's kind of late for me to be up. But evidently for some reason I was up that particular night and got those pictures, and then, the clouds are behind the moon. My whole life, ever since I was a little girl, I've seen things, and people say to me, and I tell them the things that I see, right? And I ain't never been a big liar. I know the consequences of that. You got to keep too much stuff when you lie about stuff. And I got too much other stuff that I got to keep track of, so I just don't even, it's just easier to stay out of trouble than it is to get out of it, caught in a lie. I don't like how it feels, so I'm not going to put myself in a position to feel that way on purpose. So, I tell people about this, and because they'd never had that experience, they've never known anybody that's had that experience, because they haven't seen it, they don't believe it. Therefore, the reality of my existence is again omitted. Just nope, that don't happen. My whole life is based on crap that don't happen. I ask people, you ever seen the clouds behind the moon? No, I don't know. And I show them a picture. The big one is, you ever seen somebody move something with their mind? It's not my mind. It's not even a matter of a mind. It's my energy field. That's how I do it. But yeah, I got 4 pictures here. Boom, boom, boom. I got all kinds of trippy evidence of stuff like that. Actual evidence of things that I've seen, not stuff that I read in a book. I ain't a big reader. I don't read much because I don't want it to obscure my belief systems too much, If I've read just enough in my life to verify the stuff that I need to know. And if there's stuff that Creator says I need to know, then I will sit down and I will be obedient and I will read, I will, but that just hasn't been the case since I left college so long ago, 2000, whenever. That was a nightmare for me for freaking... Mom and I watched this show last night. There was a character on an episode of Longmire where this woman was a boxer and her sister died of a drug. She got shot, but she was into those drugs, those opioids. And that girl's in the woman that played the sister, the boxer, is in a show where she writes obituaries, and then the people that she's writing the obituary for, they come visit her, and then she learns life lessons from them, right? But she has a autistic roommate. I like when they portray people, it's mostly men. Is there I know Temple Grandin's a real woman, and she's been in or they've had movies that have been portrayed. But are there? They have odd, quirky characters, I think, on shows. Well, that little girl on American Mom, she's totally on the people with their quirks. That's why I called. I'll just. That's a good segue. I'll lead into it there. I called today, talk the Just Rights, and I'm pretty sure I probably called one of my other 2,000 videos the Just Rights. I do that. I hate naming these videos, and then by creating titles, putting in titles of videos that I've named the same thing before, I'm auto-magically creating playlists. So I got methods for everything, man. People just or don't really have any interest in picking up what I put down. So anyway, the Just Rights, all those things in life. All those things in life that for 48, almost 49 years, I have been watching people to determine what their just rights are. All those things that people need in their world, on their external, to make their existence just right. Like the Just Right porridge, 3 little bears. Do people read their kids' stories anymore? I don't know. I never had kids. If I did, I'd probably would have too. You know? So, but, the just rights, all the, those cars, the properties, people wanting to make the town in which they live like this by becoming a city planner and letting all their friends work in their office. Yeah, you're surrounded by your buddies and stuff, but maybe your friends don't have the best ideas. All this stuff to make people, collectively, people making their world just right has freaking created so much disdain on this planet, because that's not what God intended. That's not how we're supposed to be living this life. It's just so bizarre to me. How come I get it? And every now and again, someone that comes across my path, that they get it too in the same kind of way I get it. I'm just a little bit more broader spectrum, I think. I just think I see the need for assistance in more ways because I've been on the bottom spectrum, and this world, a community is only as good as it treats the people. That's a little loud. I gotta fix this. That can't do things for the community, because there's a lot of those people. I speak out. I speak out for those folks. Because my mom is one of those folks. And there's too many other people, young and old, that they just have deficits. It's just how it is. They weren't taught, maybe got hit in the head, that part, of the brain that is good in that area don't work so good, There's all kinds of reasons. There's all things possible, multi-universe, there's all kinds of reasons why people act and behave. I've been studying it my whole life, watching. Why people act the way that they do. And figuring out why I act the way I do. I'm pretty good at figuring out why I act the way I do. I'm pretty good at it about being aware of myself. I've been working on it since I was, 13, 14? That's when I was reading Gary Zukav, Like all that pre-programming that Oprah did. That's the thing. Is like, I think people have their origin story and I think they evolve, And like when you're a kid, you're free will. You get to do whatever you want. Right? That's how I remember, me doing whatever I want was jumping on my bike and just being out in nature. And then I learned so many valuable, important life lessons from just being a kid out in nature. And then somebody gave me a BB gun. I was like, all right. Yeah, I got a BB gun. I shot 2 birds. First bird I killed. I had no remorse. It didn't impact me at all. I was like, yeah, I got it. Right? I was probably 7 years old. Right? Second bird, boom, hit it. It didn't die. It didn't die instantly. The value of life, I've learned these lessons long ago and they've hit me very hard and I've embraced them greatly. It is real. And then I was taught, I had people that taught me, never point a gun, fake or real, at another human being. I got it when I was 6. Alec Baldwin, I hope you get yours, mofo. He did that in New Mexico about 2 hours. I can't stand that guy. That guy epitomizes ego, self-will, run riot. All those guys do. They all do the same thing. And they do very little. Ask that guy. You ever give a freaking junkie on the street $100, look him in the eye and, be like, dude, hang on, man. Hang on. Hang in there. Don't let this world get you, No. I bet. I bet. People like that don't care about people like the same people that I care about. Right? I can't wait. I would love to see that guy get his karma. He never even apologized. Didn't even say he was sorry, because he's not. He's sorry that it happened and that he's been put through all of this inconvenience. That is why he's sorry. He don't care that he hit that first bird. He didn't hit that. He wasn't young enough to see and find the value of life and to recognize the value of life. He didn't do it. I hope he gets his. I used to be so that's what killed. I was so interjected, immersed in 3D world. I did all the fun 3D stuff. And then I started looking around. I said, I don't want to act like that. I want to be like that. What about all the people that don't have what they need, All these freaking kids that are just born to these freaking junky freaking parents, drug addict, and then they end up on the street 14, 15 years old. They don't know how to take care of themselves. And then you got the predators that pick them up. They don't got no options to go in the system where people get paid to be predators. How the world is and how people have been given this imposed idea of reality so they can get paid for not feeling bad about their own behavior when their behavior is gross. This weekend, Sunday, for all the things that are happening on Sunday, in the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke you, Satan, for all that it is happening, for all of the energy harvesting and all the nastiness and grossness that is going to transpire. And there ain't no good, clean fun about it. All the people getting drunk, carrying on. How many people are gonna die this weekend because somebody can just do what he wants? Because don't you know who? I can drive. That used to be me. I used to freaking hang out with people that freaking killed people because they didn't care. Drink and drive. Don't care. Living my best life. Doing what I want. F everybody else, man. Living those just rights. Getting those just rights. It makes me sick how much freaking... Between this, sports, and politics, all of the resources, all the life force, all like the Fed, all the whole entire encompassing group, all that just so the cracks of society can get wider and people mercilessly just keep falling through. Soul sacrificed. Ding! Another one bites the dust. Bing! They all suck ball sack. BAAL, ball, barium, aluminum, that crap they spray in the sky, the heavy metals to block the sun. The sun heals people, man. It don't cause cancer, dude. The sun don't cause cancer. It's all that crap people put on themselves that other people sell for your best interest. That stuff. That's the stuff that causes it. Everybody's been lied to. But so many people profit from it. Don't talk about my dad that way. I'm a military brat. Yeah, you're a fucking brat, and they call you a brat for a reason, because you just go around and support that crap, and mommy and daddy probably, you got different versions. You got the mommy and daddy did everything, and then the freaking... Dude, man, a lot of those military people are freaking twisted, dude. They got freaking serious. They don't know how to let shit go. They got some serious control issues, man. They don't know how to allow for anything divine because they're so self-will. Run riot. Don't you know I am? They go, see, because they ain't a freaking... They got to put, like, rank and ribbons and shit on themselves because they ain't nothing done in anything respectable of and by themselves to make society better. So they create systems where they can reward themselves for doing shit that they want to do, but and then they get the whole society to co-sign their shit, and I ain't co-signing their shit. I won't co-sign nobody's crap. People have wanted me to endorse. I remember like this chick that I used to know, haven't been friends for a year. It was an AA convention. It was a recovery convention, so it was separate from AA. So it was not related to, but it was like, you know, they read the steps and traditions, but it wasn't an AA meeting. It's just whatever. It's also confusing. And I like couldn't go to one of the meetings for something, and she wanted to use my name tag. She wanted to use my name because they don't look at the name, they just see, and that's your registration. Right? Is that you get, so she could go in and get credit for going to a meeting and being there to participate, but she didn't want to spend $20, but her nails are done. She probably buys coffee every day, all this other stuff people do for their just rights. But if it's something that's gonna inconvenience them, or little tinge, something might help them grow a little bit, nah, they don't want to do that. And then they have kids and then teach their kids to behave like that. And then this is the world we get. So what are we going to do? Got all these people running around with delusions of grandeur and an inferiority complex. How many people you know like that? They got these big ideas, and they can get all these people. They got all this power. They're charismatic. They got the right blood in them. They're related to the right people, all that stuff. Then they get their way. And then it's like, dude, I hope these people don't figure out that I really don't know what I'm doing and my ideas aren't really that good. Well, the whole world should be figuring it out now. When I was in the 20 years ago, I was in from 2000 to 2006. I was there for Operation Iraqi bullshit. I got ribbons. I got my little maintenance buttons. I got my pictures. I got all that shit. I got all the t-shirts, all the experience, all the memorabilia, all the killing merch. It's merch for the killing game. In places we have no business being in. The only land that we need to be defending ever is this land. That's it. Everything else is this fucking shady deal. Everything else is a shady deal. And unless everybody benefits, which they don't, maybe if everybody got okay, we're starting, everybody gets a check. No, that's not like it. It's not how it is. They only stimulate themselves, their own economy. And then I chomp on Viagra when they can't get out of their minds because they haven't acted as a person of integrity. They've acted as a freaking... I mean, what other country does that, dude? We create all these freaking weapons to kill people and then make up conflicts so we can go beta test them on people unbeknownst to them in the desert just trying to live their lives in other parts of the country. All because of freaking dumbasses with delusions of grandeur and an inferiority complex. It's just, anyway. What else was I going to talk about? Why I don't look why sometimes I don't look people in the eye. I'm one of those. I look people in the eye. I look people in the eye initially, and then after that, I'm sizing people up energetically. And I'm going through my old time Rolodex of every person I've ever met that has ever reminded me to you, and I'm putting together this profile. And then you tell me your birthday, and I incorporate that in, and I'm like, okay, all right. And either we're going to be a match or we're not. And sometimes I'll even try to match energy with people that I'm not a match at, but I know I'm supposed to be learning something from them, and it just don't work out. But there's always lessons to be learned from people. Well, I used to watch my parents were divorced before I was born. I didn't find this out till a couple years ago that I was a bastard. I found out on Ancestry I was a bastard. I know who my father is. I just don't really like him. I was their parting gift. So they got divorced in 72. I came along in 74, and I gotta have that conversation with my dad, and I don't even know if he'll tell me, but I don't know the circumstances of my birth or my conception or whatever. So I don't know if it was positive or negative. And I don't even know if he'll tell me, but Mom won't. She never has. She's kept that secret, but when the truth is supposed to come out, it does, and it did in Ancestry. Oh, look at this. Mom and Dad's divorce. What? Huh? My whole life, they lied to me my whole life, man. My whole life, they lied to me. And I went in and I talked in meetings on recovery from podiums in front of freaking hundreds of people about how, telling the story that was told to me. So I veritably lied to all these people because that's what I was told. I'm not a liar. I was going off of somebody else's account. When the truth comes out, truth comes out when it's supposed to. And I have learned that I've known that to be true my whole entire life. So I wasn't around my dad very much. He's an Aries. I'm an Aries. I'm a lot like him. He seems to think that my sister was more like him. She's Virgo. But the way I look at it is like a Virgo imbalance is just as detrimental as any other sign. Aries imbalanced or otherwise, it just manifests in different ways based on their frame of reference and all that stuff. It's like soul soup. And my dad didn't have a lot of patience for me, and he didn't communicate real good with me, and I'd get yelled at a lot. I got yelled at a lot, and then I've had a lot of trauma, so it's like, it's just like, I was one of those people pleasers, and it took me a lot of years to figure out how not to be, because my endocrine system gets tied up because somebody is having a response, and so my body is feeling the response that they're having, and I don't like it, so I gotta satisfy whatever needs they have so that they calm down so that I can be okay. Things are different now. It was like that for a lot of years for me, and I have a feeling it's like that for a lot of other people. They just don't know how to articulate it. Anyway, so my dad, he used to grit his teeth. My brother does it too. He probably gets it from watching my dad. See, so when I'm not looking at people in the eye, I'm watching the muscles in their faces. I'm taking everything in, right? So, I go see that. Oh, he'd be like, oh, hey. He would act like he'd be really excited to see me and stuff like that. But then he grit, at 5 minutes later, he's gritting his teeth. And when people are gritting their teeth, that tells me that someone is being tolerant of me. That somebody is trying to, is up here, but they're trying to keep themselves from responding to me. So they're censoring themselves. So they're not being true and authentic to me. It tells me that he's really annoyed. He got annoyed. He was annoyed with me a lot. And it's funny because I was so much like him. Speech impediment. All this stuff. The only thing is different between me and him is I was a little girl. And I overcame my shit. People didn't freaking navigate around and make everything nice and, special. It didn't make... I was autistic. Yeah, they didn't make this world and create this world for me where I don't just, if they would ignore me. If anything, my tantrums would, you think, would help modify their behavior. So I could get my way more in life. And it just didn't work out that way. I just always came across as dude, just ignore her. She's not even there. Just, anyway. So why I don't always look people in the eyes because I'm sizing people up, or they've said something, or I've gotten some data that I've received some data some information that is letting me know that there's something different than they're trying to get me to believe. And whenever we go there, it's like, you know what? Okay, that's cool. I would rather people meet me with their insecurities and I'll meet you with mine, then act like they're like, ooh, it's 11:11, or act like they're just I don't know. Anyway, so what I was thinking about that, but they're not like my dad's he's 70, he was 48, so he's 2 years, so 74. He's 74, 75. He's 74. He'll be 75. And I haven't seen him since he was like 68. My 40th birthday. When we went down Grand Canyon. I got this hat. I just put this hat on. I threw it on top of the corner. And I just saw that it got I'm so sad about this. This is my Grand Canyon hat. I'm sad because whatever they did, whoever did this, they did it to the point that they freaking they chewed out my drawstring. So it's so handy to have a hat. I'll get another one. It's just a hat, right? Thank you, Mom. It's just a hat. That's the thing. That's how funny human beings are, though. Cause this hat, yeah, it's just a hat. But I went down the Colorado River on a raft for 3 nights and 4 days in the Grand Canyon. I had a freaking, the aliens came to visit. It was a trip, man. It was, so all of that experience is like packed out into this hat, right? The thing of it is, I'm going to throw the hat away because it doesn't work the way it does. It's broke. Right? It don't take away from the experience that I had. How many people on the planet keep shit because it's tied to something that no longer serves them? So I'm going to walk over here right now. Because, Mom, you did that for a number of years. Mom was a hoarder. And then I'm still finding my shit in her stuff. She used to take stuff. Man, the stuff I've gotten to get over, man. If people ever need any guidance on how I've done it and kept a freaking relatively freaking level head in such a wonky society, I got over 2,000 videos now. Did she tell me what kind? Spiny oyster? I think that, because I looked it up and that's what they said. What I found, it says spiny oyster. So she verified. I looked it up. It's a rad necklace. This is Mom's necklace. I just asked Mom if I can wear it. She says I can. So as soon as I'm done with the video, I'm going to take it off and put it back. She wore it for a long time. It's heavy. It's heavy. And I think I kind of want to go for a walk or something today. Get out. Do something, more than walking the dogs. Benny's good. He had 2 teeth pulled the other night. Yeah, so he's good. He's all right. Calm, Benno. Is that Marge or Benny? There he is. He just said, what, Marge? You said Benny name, Marge? You said that's a hi to Benny? Mom, say hi. Wave, Ma. We gotta wash her hair. I cut my hair today. I think I do a pretty good job considering I can't see back here and it's freaking cut. So I just go by feel. I miss good haircuts. My friend Jill in Omaha, that was like my ritual, It was like, okay, every 9 days or so, I'd go get a haircut. And so it was less than 2 weeks. Because it's something about you feel good when you look good, right? But what do people need to feel good? For me, it was like I gave her $20 and or $25, and that was now whatever it was, and then I went to a barber when I lived in Oregon. Calvin, he was a cool dude. His wife was starting to make pet snacks right when we left. I wonder how that's going. I should check in with him, Anyway, $15 with tip.
That's nice.
I get a freaking badass. I can't get a haircut in the town that I live. I live in Taos, New Mexico, and it's like they only like cutting people's hair that they get. It's like everybody gets to pick it. No, I'm closed right now. She could have cut my hair. You know what I mean? But it's like they don't want to overtask themselves. So it's like they do one thing and charge people so much they only got to do one thing a day. And then, if you're lucky, you can get in there. So I'm like, I just got to a point in my life where people can think I'm a dummy for not having sharp edges and stuff like, you can't make a friend and cut your hair. I used to think, too bad you couldn't make a friend. I used to make fun of people like that. Now I can't make friends. So karma's real, man. Karma's real. Now I just cut my own hair. I paid one time here two times to get a haircut, and it wasn't worth to go back. And the one gal, I paid like $45 or something like that, and it was like a shitty haircut, and I'm used to having good haircuts. I found this. I gotta wrap this talk up. I've been running around. I found these. Maybe I'll just dedicate a whole talk to that, Ma.
That's a good idea.
About when we were in Omaha. We got all these index card. She's been using index cards as long as I can remember, which is way back. But she's always written this stuff. How to handle stress, meditation and prayer, practice on a regular basis can be a marvelous way to get rid of tension. Meticulous, intelligent individuals, creative potential, eager to succeed in life, professional goals come true. See, Mom wrote all this stuff, but she never said this stuff to me, right? She just can't, and she'd share with other people. She just didn't. I don't know. It was a trip. So, but when she was I'll have another conversation from before we moved to Oregon, when I pretty much witnessed her losing her memory. Like she knew. It was like she knew. Huh, Ma. When well, maybe you don't know from retrospect, but I just remember she was writing everything down frantically for that period, and Post-its. So she knew. So she'd have to write Post-its to remind her to do things. But the thing that people don't understand, it's like, let's say, you can go to work. Just leave your mom. Just leave a note. Because I used to do that. I used to go on job interviews when I was looking for work, stuff like that, and I'd leave her a note for her to read to remind her to eat the sandwich. But the thing of it is she wouldn't remember to read the note. So then what do you do? You know what I mean? So that's when I determined that she deserves better and my full support and care and attention. Well, the best that I can. Because I need time for myself, and I got to take the dogs out every couple hours. Everything's balanced, man. Everything's balanced. But this is my path as I choose it, and I accept it. This is my path. It's taken a lot of years for me to accept the person that I am. And most of that crap is because I didn't like me because of what other people said I was. Once I stopped talking about those freaking listening to those dill holes that are telling me about them, and I figured out that they're just see things in me that they don't like. They'd act like that too, but they don't like it in me. Hypocrite. Peace out, y'all. Anyway. It weeds people out. I mean, my planet is very small because of the number of people they say they're on this planet, but I don't engage with. Anyway, it's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, I better see if there's anyone in the talkie room. Hey, Kev, man. Good day to you. You're walking the dog. See, that makes me feel good when people freaking just listen to my, talks. It's like, because that's what I do is I just put stuff on and I'm doing chores. It helps me get through my day. And so that makes me feel good. Thank you, Kev, man. So that's what I envisioned. That's cool. Oh, I'm talking about, so you can relate to me with that BB gun, right? Yeah, that freaking was a hard life lesson. So that's how I learned not to kill things. Hey, Key, how are you? Go do your premiere. She's why I make everybody a moderator. 'Cause of Key. I'm holding on to my hat right now. That's funny. See, I love it. That's what my channel is about, is connecting to the people of like frequency, But I think he's in Canada, Ontario is where maybe I'm mixing him up with somebody else. Oh. Maybe it's because he was having a conversation with Sky. I could be mixing it up, but that's cool, because that's the thing is I ain't for everybody. I am not for everybody. I am not on this. I am for the people that like their stuff about them that they see in me. That's it. Later.